Welcome back into Simon Scott Assembly Hall here in Bloomington, Indiana, and it is just about game time. Gathered at center court, and both these teams are playing for a lot here. A chance to advance to South Carolina and advance to the Sweet 16. Here we go. Tip is up and gathered by the Hoosiers. Chloe Moore McNeil comes down with it and gets things going. Grace Berger up at the logo, now works in. Hands off to Chloe Moore McNeil. Gare zone up top, now hands off. Grace Berger drives in, working on two defenders. Corner, now back to Berger, right wing. Drives in with the left, crosses over, pull-up mid-range jumper. Off the iron, no good. Rebound gathered by Lola Pendande. Hurricanes working from left to right. Williams hands it off to Cavender. Now back up to Harden. Works it over to Roberts, drives in on Sydney Parrish. Williams cuts in now. Goes right underneath with the left, passes it back out to Pendande, and there was no one home on that one. Hurricanes take a 2-0 score early on.
That was a beautiful no-look pass, too. Two players committed on defense to the driver, left a wide-open dump down.
Hoosiers working on the full-court press here from the Hurricanes. Chloe Moore McNeil able to break it, calls for a screen from Mackenzie Holmes, feeds it inside, pull-up jumper for Holmes is good. Not necessarily bread and butter for Holmes, but she ties up the game 2-2. 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first. Working on the half-court offense. Roberts gets it into Pendande, who pulls up, free throw, mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound secured by Holmes. Now Sydney Parrish pushing it for the Hoosiers. Hands it off to Grace Berger, left wing. She drives in, free throw, hands it off to Gare zone, pump fakes, drives in, puts up a circus shot, no good. Rebound corralled by Pendande. Hurricanes pushing it hard now. Williams all the way coast to coast. Hands it back up top there to Harden, who fakes the jump shot, passes it into Pendande, who spins, puts it up, and scores. 4-2, 8 minutes left in the first. Hurricanes on top. And Pendande is getting everything she wants right now in the paint on Holmes.
Yeah, and that's what you can't allow if you're Indiana. There's a lot of size on this Miami team. This is one of the teams that Indiana will actually struggle with in the post. Usually Indiana the dominant team in the post. That's not the case. They've met their maker today.
Gare zone now working on two defenders. They back off, and she hands it to Grace Berger. Cross, and back up top. Chloe Moore McNeil. Working on Cavender. Has to pay attention to the shot clock here. Mackenzie Holmes, another jumper off the back iron. No good. Hurricanes looking fast to start things off. Williams cuts it in. Top of the key. Three. Good. Destiny Harden, second leading scorer for the Hurricanes, makes it a 7-2 deficit. Approaching 7 minutes left to play. Hoosiers have to get something going here. Grace Berger being face guarded all the way back at the logo. She drives in behind the back pass. Holmes wasn't necessarily expecting it, but it goes out of bounds off the feet of Jalea Williams.
It's a very risky pass if you're Grace Berger. Yeah, she's probably confident in her ability, but at the same time, you're already down 5 points. This is a situation that Indiana doesn't typically find themselves in. They got to get something going, and at the same time, they have to communicate on defense. All the shots that Miami has had so far today have been wide open.
Inbound to Grace Berger from Yarden Gare zone. On the left wing, she spins, finds a lot of room, pull-up mid-range jumper. That one can get put on the highlight reel. 7-4, just under 7 minutes to play in the first. Now Cavender working on Moore McNeil. Hands it off to Harden, who fakes another three, sends it into Pendande. Spins once again off the glass, scores it on Mackenzie Holmes. And Holmes is just not looking comfortable down there. Pendande is very active in the post.
Well, this is the first action that Mackenzie Holmes has seen since the Big Ten tournament. That's been, I believe, just about a week and a half, if not 2 weeks ago. Been a while since Mackenzie Holmes has seen some action, trying to get her back into the flow of things.
Sydney Parrish on the pump fake, drives inside, and just has to send it out. Thought she got fouled there. Crowd doesn't like it. And Pendande just stood in the post where she thrives. It was a stone wall there on Sydney Parrish. It'll remain Hoosier ball. So here's a foul ball sent back by Nick Doherty. Eric Santaguida saw two reach to start off the game. A hit by pitch and a walk for Hedrick and Denty, respectively. But then he had one fly out to center and then a strikeout to clean up the mess that he dug himself into. He sends that one high, 1-1 count.
it wasn't exactly a clean inning, but it was clean on the scoreboard, is the best way to describe how that first inning went for Eric Santaguida.
This one popped up way high, and it gets out of here straight back. A 1-2 count now on Nick Doherty.
I think the best way to describe this sky tonight right now, it's almost a baseball color sky to some extent. So I think it's going to be an interesting and difficult night for fly balls this evening. Curious to see how people will handle that.
Checked swing there. Santaguida almost fools Doherty, but he got a 2-2 count now. On deck is Logan Anderson. Rips this one into left. It's curling foul, and that's where it will land. So a 2-2 once again. Yeah, for the Oilmen, you mentioned it earlier, Josh, to be able to come out here and put someone on the mound who delivered a great first inning, and that's not even one of your three pitchers who ended up near the top 5 in ERA, that being Brandon Locks, Tyler Locks, and Joey Turek, is absolutely phenomenal. 2-2 well high. Full count now on Doherty.
Yeah, that's really been the biggest strength of this Oilman team is their pitching staff. That's really what's gotten them there. The offense has been very solid as well. But, a lot of their stats for offense have just been a lot of compiling because they played more games. Pitching-wise, a lot of those statistics have been good just because they've been consistent.
Swing and a miss on the full count. Santaguida gets his third strikeout in a row, and that brings up Logan Anderson. Santaguida got him chasing high there, I believe. And right now, both pitchers are doing a good job disguising their approaches and throwing, pitches that start off on the same path but then might have different movement at the end of it. You're seeing it with some of these check swings here. That one's in for a strike. Just catches the bottom right corner.
You're exactly right. They're both doing a good job with it, and it seems like these two pitchers, are they going to be able to get better and better as the game goes on? That's oftentimes the mark of a very good pitcher, is a guy that gets better as the game goes on. That's rare. Typically, you'll see guys get worse as the game goes on.
One's fouled to the right. So an 0-2 count here on Logan Anderson.
But I really think if you want to talk about keys to this Northern League Championship Series, I think it's really going to come down to pitching at the end of the day. It's going to come down to who can pitch better. I mean, Justin Heisman said it best last night in the post-game presser. He talked about how whenever postseason comes and games like this, one good arm can shut down a good lineup, and then all of a sudden you're down 1-0, or if it's an elimination game, all of a sudden the series is over. So I think that's really what it's going to come down to. Who's going to get that shutdown performance on the mound?
A haphazard swing there sends one into foul territory. It's playable for Loden at the fence, and he grabs it. That is not an easy play to make, folks. I think that one was off the screen there, but Loden worked his way over to the fence, stuck it out, and at the same time he grabbed the ball, his glove hit the fence. He holds on for 2 outs here.
Hoosiers had it going first as TJD works in for the big man bucket. 22-13, Indiana on top. But Tyson Walker, shot clock magician, buries the deep ball and extends the Spartan lead to 6, 35-29 Michigan State, and they did not look back. Second half mishap. Miller Kopp can't get his hands on the rock. Watch your head. Malik Hall throws it down. This one got out of hand near the end. Spartans win a big game at home, 80-65. Terry Morin, the winningest coach in IU women's basketball history, has a sold-out crowd backing her team, and they took full advantage of it. First quarter, Yarden-Gare zone, inch of space, good. Got it. 20-12 Hoosiers. Boilermakers aren't going down quietly, though. Lachey Petrie, corner 3, cuts the deficit to 2. In the second quarter, still a close game near the end of the first half. Now, Janae Terry, looking for a shooter, can't find one. She'll have to take it herself off the fade. Makes it 37-34 Hoosiers at the half. But in the second half, Hoosiers got their act together and pulled away thanks to the MAC attack. Mackenzie Holmes spins and scores, and the Hoosiers took off with this game and took off with the Big Ten regular season championship.